getting clear on, what it looks like 5 years from now, 10 years from now. When do you want to exit? How much do you need? What's the tax efficient way of doing it?
What's the number one way for business owners to make sure that they're planning in the future and not just being stuck in the business?
Yeah, I think the first step is they have to do some inventory. They've got to do a personal balance sheet, a business balance sheet. They have to figure out what it is that they're going to need so that they can cash flow their life. And we like to make sure that it cash flows until age 99, and then begin to see whether there's a gap for it. So that's one side. The issue around ownership is about future financial security, and a lot of business owners don't feel that they have that. The business is a lifestyle business and creates the lifestyle that they want for that. The other problem is they don't necessarily know who they can exit to or transition to. Most businesses transition internally, contrary to the notion of having some buyer walk in and take it off your hands. So the very first step is what we call clarity, getting clear on what it looks like 5 years from now, 10 years from now. When do you want to exit? How much do you need? What's the tax efficient way of doing it? So it's really a discovery process around getting clear on identifying and quantifying. And then once they get through that, then they can start working into how do they maximize and protect, because it does take time. The most successful exits and transitions happen over years and sometimes over decades for that.
Got it. All right. So it sounds like the key here is making sure you have like a cash flow analysis, not only on your business, but on your personal, not just analysis of today, but projections and where you want to be for your future. And it sounds like people get in the business and their lifestyle is great when they're maintaining this certain cash flow, right, continually. But if they stop working and they don't monetize that into another tax efficient way to continue to produce cash flow to keep their lifestyle, there can be in trouble. So you want to ID where you're at and you want to quantify where you're at and where you want to be. Is that a fair summary so far, Ahmie?
Yeah, the first step is identify and quantify. And then there's obviously a bunch of other issues that happen in that first step around psychological issues, identity. They are in control, and all of a sudden now they've got all this capital. And how am I going to be able to get the same kinds of returns? In many cases, the businesses are doing much better in terms of returns than what they can get in the public markets. And in other cases, frankly, their businesses are not doing as well. So there's a number of issues in that first step of identifying and quantifying.
Got it.
Financial.
Excellent. So once you get through that, what do you move to in the next step for the
next step is trying to identify who could you sell it to? Do you have, in my case, I had a family member who was interested. In other cases, they don't exist. So do you have people in your management team? Do you have a strong enough management team to be able to do that with that? And then in that process, you have to be able to figure out, look at the business from a buyer's standpoint. A lot of times take a look at your customer concentration, take a look at your physical plant, take a look at ways that, you are, your people, your strategy, your execution, your cash flow. So all of that is part of that.
All right. So identifying the who, whether it be internally, whether it be externally, and also just from a buyer's perspective, understanding what it is that you're selling, what it's worth, what the values are, what the predictable cash flows are.